Hey guys, Pre-Market9's here, and we have waited long enough. It is finally here, the greatest time of year. It is finally speculation season. As you guys know, a couple of days ago, brand new Pokemon games for the Switch were finally revealed for Generation 8, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, which are not the titles I would have given them. But after seeing a few clips of what this region looks like, I don't care what they freaking call them. These games look so gorgeous. People are already talking about new types, new evolutions, new forms of certain Pokemon apparently are gonna be a thing. I don't know. As for what I try to speculate, you guys know whenever new Pokemon are revealed, like these brand new starters, oh my gosh, I love all the new starters. They're so cute, except for Scorbunny. Always comes back to shiny Pokemon and what the shiny versions of them are going to be. With these new starters, I made 4 for each, and there's a reason for that. Trying to guess what they're gonna do with these shinies is so much more difficult now knowing that they're choosing the shinies rather than using a palette swap. I still will reference Generation 6 and 7 shinies to kind of give an idea of what they might do, but it's a shot in the dark completely because they're honestly just gonna do whatever the heck they want. And I'm pretty positive the person that designs the Pokemon themselves chooses, so it's really up in the air what they're going to do. That being said, I made 4 for each, 2 of them that I think they're going to do, and then 2 of them that I was just like, hey, this looks amazing. I'm probably not gonna do 4 for every single Pokemon, but I am going to do shiny speculations every single time a new Pokemon is revealed. So if you guys are excited to have this series back on the channel, please give this video a thumbs up. But that being said, we are gonna breeze through these super fast because there are so many, but without further ado, let's get into these shiny speculations. First Pokemon we're talking about is the grass starter Grookey, my favorite of the 3. He's so freaking cute. I can't even look at him because I start to panic. Okay, let's get into this. Right off the bat, we've got a crazy looking design, but I promise you, this is definitely something that I could totally see them doing, so try and stay with me here. Right away, when you look at this thing, it is very clear that there are 2 very distinct changes and then 2 very subtle ones. The entirety of the green on its body goes to a blue, and the face and arms goes from orange to like a pinkish red. These are both changes that we saw in the Rowlet line, which I found kind of strange even though I guessed it correct the first time. It wasn't something I thought they would do, it was just something I thought looked cool. Apparently, with the grass type starters, it is go big or go home because the changes that they make are always very drastic and very vast like the ones you see here. Other than that, the brown just goes a little bit darker, barely changes it at all, and then the face mask, if they change that, I could see it maybe going towards more of a green, but I kept it pretty yellow here because just like with the other 2 starters from 6th and 7th gen as far as grass goes, there are some accents that don't really change too much, so I don't see them doing that with every single color. Honestly speaking, going forward, I feel like this is more likely to happen, something like this, that's a very drastic change rather than a very subtle one. Really not a bad look, also not my favorite, but as long as it changes a lot, I'm gonna be happy. Up next, we got a very basic looking style. Reference for this is obviously Chespin in that entire line. Going from green to brown, it's kind of something that we've just seen them do. I feel like it makes a lot of sense for a Pokemon that's based off of a monkey to kind of look like a monkey in its shiny form. We've seen them use logic a lot of times with shiny Pokemon in the past 2 generations, so I wouldn't put it past them to do something like this. I am gonna be shocked if they change the stick color to anything other than an actual color that wood could be. So I basically just went with the color of birch or the color of a drumstick, maybe bamboo, I'm not sure. I just feel like that lighter creamer color is a safe bet for them to go after. Would I be happy with this one? I don't know, I really don't. I could maybe see them doing this same thing but going more red instead of brown. If they do that, I think it would be really cool. But if they just stuck with the brown like this, then yeah, it's not really gonna be my favorite. Now this one I'm actually really excited about because I was using this design as one of the ones that I didn't want to see, and then I changed a few things on it, and now I actually really like it. Usually when they take the green and just kind of oversaturate it like we've seen so many times in the past, it just looks boring. But here, added with the accents of the brown staying the same, pretty much the same yellow mask, but then finishing it off with the charcoal on the hands and the mouth, it kind of just completes the look. Somehow it's still holding on to that monkey vibe while also keeping hold of that grass type vibe, so this is totally something that maybe they would do, I'm not sure, but it's something that I would really love to see, and I think a lot of other people would love it too. Like I said before, I don't see them changing the accent so much, especially when the stick is something he removes and uses himself. I don't really see them changing that, so I think that brown's gonna stay the same, and if they do change that fur mask at all, it's gonna be a very subtle change. So something similar to this, if this goes to black and the hands go to black, oh my gosh, I think that's gonna be gorgeous, which leads us into our next speculation. This is the shiny that I would love to see. I know it is crazy out there, it's not something that we'll probably get, but if we did, it would be so freaking gorgeous. The green goes to a complete white, that looks crazy, but it's also a look that we've seen on certain types of monkeys, so it's not completely out there. Though I will say the blue ears, the tail, and the wood being blue is not really something I think we could ever see them do. It just doesn't make very much sense. But you know what? Shinies don't make sense all the time, so let a boy dream. And then again, I went with the black hands and mouth because I just really feel like that is a good look. If they're going to change that at all, I hope they change it to that, because with any color scheme, I really feel like a change like that works, stands out a lot, and is honestly the best change that they could make. Other than that, I changed the surrounding of the eyes to a green. I felt like that really completed the look here and kind of pulled it all together, and also held on to the grass type vibe. So we'll see what they do, we'll see what happens, but if they make them any of these, I think I'm gonna be super happy. Now on to the second starter Pokemon we're gonna be talking about, and that is the bunny Pokemon with way too much energy for me to handle, Scorbunny. Right away when I look at this Pokemon, I don't see them changing the white on the body very much at all. If they do, it's probably gonna go to a silver like you see here. And then as far as the accent colors go, I channeled Fennekin since we already were going with the silver, and thought orange to red, it's very simple, very unique, and it matches the fire vibe. So that's what I did here. That's what makes a lot of sense to me. This is totally a shiny I could see them doing. It's not very exciting, but at the end of the day, not all shinies are, and these are just the colors that most fire starters are harboring these days. So it doesn't look too bad, not much else to say about it. This is what I think they're gonna do. Following up on that one, we're keeping the body white, but the two accent colors got a lot to play with here. Obviously, Scorbunny is based off of the kid on your YMCA soccer team that hogs the ball all the time but isn't very good at it. So naturally, I looked up UK soccer teams, and two of the main colors used are blue and red. That, along with the fact that blue and red are very common accent colors for fire type starters, this just made a lot of sense to me. Although we don't really see blue and red used together a lot, when they are, it tends to look good, and I think this looks pretty good myself. Do I wish the base fur of the body would change more? Obviously. Do I think it's going to? I really don't. Once again, we're sticking with the logic themes here, and if they're going with the soccer vibe, they would totally use these two colors. Now onto the first of two that I completely adore. The black fur, I think looks incredible. White to black is a common change that they've been doing, and they're going crazy with the fire starters. We saw Linton go from black to white, so it's not completely far-fetched that they would do something like this. Although I don't expect them to make a change like this, I am completely praying for it because this looks so gorgeous. Not too much else changes here, which makes a lot of sense. If they are gonna make a drastic change like white to black, then I don't really see them changing the accent colors that much. So I just made the orange a little bit lighter, and then the other color for the band-aid and the ears a little lighter as well. This definitely stands out like crazy, and if they do something like this, I am gonna be super thankful. And finally, for the shiny that I would love to see, once again, blue on a fire starter has always been my favorite thing. The only reason I chose Tepig was because Emboar had blue flames. And that being said, I think this looks incredible. Do I think they're gonna make a change like this? No, but they could. It's definitely a possibility. We've seen blue on shinies in the past for fire starters. Mixing that with the black fur, I don't know guys, this looks gorgeous. I know everybody has different opinions on what shinies look good, but for me, this is like best case scenario. There's really not too much else to say about it. I think this looks amazing. The two accent blues go really well together. They match the black perfectly, and this is gonna be a shiny that would stand out like crazy and would honestly give me a run for my money on which one I'm gonna pick. I do base my choice on which one I like the best, but shinies pertain to that, and if the shiny for Scorbunny looks amazing, I could easily be persuaded to trade teams. I guess only time will tell. This is what I've got for Scorbunny. Take it or leave it. On to the next one. And last but not least, we have our water starter, Sobble. This guy is clearly anxiety ridden, but he has no reason to be. Everybody loves him. I hope he knows that. I wonder if he does. Now more than ever, when we look at water starter Pokemon, it feels obligatory to make a change like this. So many water type Pokemon end up purple. I don't love it. This is not what I want it to be. I wouldn't hate it, but at the end of the day, do I see them doing something like this? Yes. The main blues go to purple. That includes the cheeks and the tail. And then the yellow on the fin or whatever this might be, I'm not sure what that is. It just goes to a little bit of an orange. For some reason, water starters don't have the most exciting shinies, at least in their first form, so I just followed up with that. I went safe here, and this is totally something I could see them doing. Following up with that, we followed down the path of Grookey here. This is something I could totally see them doing, and honestly, I think it kind of rocks it. Again, just like before, this is a very safe choice. The base blue goes way lighter, but the accents kind of stay the same. And then the yellow on the fin actually goes to white, which I feel like kind of pulls the whole thing together. If they don't do that, it might mess with the whole thing. I hope they do that. If they do something like this, I really hope that they make that color completely change too. If they kept that the same, it would just be too boring. This could be the shiny, and it's kind of boring, but then evolve into something like Greninja and get like a completely jet black color. Shiny glow ups do happen, but regardless, it still does look like a water type Pokemon, so if nothing else, they've got that going for it. Now for this one, I understand if you guys think I'm crazy for thinking this, but I really feel like this fits the chameleon vibe, and that is something they might go for with the shiny. Blue to seafoam green still kind of fits that oceanish vibe, but it looks really amazing, and then matching that with the crazy orange, very vibrant yellow look. Normally I would say that these colors don't match, but looking at it right here on a chameleon Pokemon, it just feels like it works. I would love it if they made the eyes something crazy like this, something that stands out and really makes it fit the theme of the Pokemon. And just to neutralize this shiny, I did keep the fin yellow instead of changing changing that to a crazy color. I did think about changing it. In fact, I saw what it would look like changing it a lot, but like I said before, Game Freak does like to keep some accent colors exactly the same while changing other colors drastically. So if they're gonna do something crazy like this, I could totally see them keeping at least the fin that normal color. And last but not least, this is the shiny that I decided I wanted to see what it looked like. I really love it. I don't think this is something they're gonna do because chameleons are so full of color that it wouldn't really make sense to just make it all white, but there are all white chameleons out there. That is a real thing, so maybe they'll do it. Then the blue that you see on the cheeks, the eyes, and the tail, I just made a little bit darker and more vibrant. I feel like that is a change that makes a lot of sense. It's totally something that I could see them doing, and it looks really good in contrast to the white body. And then finally, following up on that, we've got a mint green up here on the fin, which is not something I see them doing in the slightest, but I thought it matched really well. I thought it made this look really cool, so I figured why the heck not. That being said, I do think Sobble was the hardest one for me to make shinies for, so if none of these are even close to right, then sorry, but if they are correct, then forget that I said that. These were really easy, and I knew for a fact they would make them. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for this edition of my shiny speculations. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hopefully, we will get more information on these new games sometime soon. Will we get brand new Pokemon? Will we get to see more of the region? And are they actually going to make new forms of Pokemon? Because if they do that, maybe I'll do shiny speculations for those as well. Generation 8 is just beginning. I am so freaking excited, guys. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. More videos are coming very soon, but until next time, this is Supreme Arcanine signing out. See you guys later.